Guys, today we're going to look at the grammar structures that you need to talk about your past habits and in particular your childhood memories. So if you're ready, stay tuned. My first childhood memory is this one. My grandmother used to make the most delicious food. My grandmother used to make the most delicious food. It's true. Maybe the best in the world. Now, let's have a look at this sentence because there are a few things we need to know. Now, first of all, we're using used to. Used to. Now, what does used to tell us about this sentence? Well, the first thing it tells us is that it's in the past. Okay, so it's a past situation. That's the first thing to know. Second thing to know is that it's a habit or an action that my grandmother did regularly. Okay, she didn't just cook one delicious meal. She cooked many delicious meals. Okay, so it's a regular habit in the past. And the key thing is that it doesn't happen now. Okay, so it's something that she did in the past regularly that she doesn't do now, unfortunately. So she used to cook the most delicious food. All right, it's a past habit. So we use used to talk about past habits that we regularly did, but we don't do now. Let's look at another example. I used to go surfing every week when I lived in Spain. I used to go surfing every week when I lived in Spain. Okay, so let's look at that sentence. We're using used to again, and is that in the present tense or the past tense? Okay, past tense, correct. So I don't live in Spain now, I live in London. But I used to, so I used to live there. Okay, so it's in the past. Now, it's an action, the surfing, okay, on the waves. It's an action that I did only once or more than once. Okay, more than once, yeah? So I did this action in the past regularly. Do I do it now? Do I go surfing in Spain every week now? No, sadly I don't. I would love to, but unfortunately I don't. So, past habit that I did regularly that I don't do now. With used to, the verb coming after it is the infinitive verb, okay? So that's I used to play, I used to go, I used to run, I used to dance. It's the infinitive verb. So, that's used to. Let's develop this a bit more. We can also talk about someone's personality or their character and how it used to be compared to now. So for example, I used to be a very naughty little boy. I used to be a very naughty little boy. Now, I know you can't believe it, right? I mean, me, naughty, impossible. But it's true, when I was a little boy, I was a little bit naughty. I used to be a little bit naughty. I would eat, if you left any chocolate in the house, I would find it and I would eat it without asking. What else did I do? I used to throw food occasionally. I remember I got some spaghetti and just put it on my head like this, and the spaghetti went all down my head. My mum wasn't happy, but oh well. So I used to be very naughty. So used to plus the verb be, and then the adjective, so naughty, or I used to be very funny, or whatever it might be. I used to be very tricky. So used to plus the verb be, and then an adjective after that. Let's take this further. I used to love playing basketball. I'd play with my friend Dax every Wednesday. We'd play in the local sports centre. So I started with used to, okay? So there's the grammar structure in the past. It's a past habit. I used to love playing basketball. Now I don't play basketball. I don't love playing basketball, and I don't do it. So past habit, I used to. Next, I'd use I'd. The d there is I would. So I'd play every Wednesday with my friend Dax. I'd play every Wednesday with my friend Dax. So the would there is the same grammar as used to, okay? It's the same function. So it's a past habit that I don't do now, but I did regularly then. okay? So just the same as used to, same meaning, okay? I could have used I used to play every Wednesday, but I chose to say I'd play every Wednesday. Usually we start off with I used to and then we will move into I would later in the sentence or later in the paragraph. I also say there, we'd play in the sports centre. We'd play in the sports centre. Again, past habit that we did regularly that we don't do now. Now be careful, because with would, you can only use it with active verbs like play, dance, run, sing. You can't use it with state verbs. So for example, the sentence I said, I used to be very naughty. You can't say I'd be very naughty. Okay, that's a different meaning. Okay, I'd be very naughty, completely different meaning. So because be is a state verb, we need to use used to. But with action verbs like play, dance, eat, sing, you can use would or used to, depending on whichever you want. So let's quickly review. We've got used to and would to talk about past habits that we did regularly that we don't do now. Used to, we can use with state verbs or action verbs. Would, we can only use with action verbs. Okay, and when we use would, we contract it. So instead of saying, I would play, we'd probably just say, I'd play. Or instead of saying, we would go, we'd say, we'd go.